Nasi ndauya kuita official launch ye constitution ye Zimbabwe Kingdom to the Mutapa Empire as I am a king with Mutapa. Sekutaura pandakaita pa last time tichitaura kuti kunyora constitution saka takwanisa kuti tinyora constitution saka constitution yedu ndakuironja muzuva ranhasi. We understand kuti ma journalist ndakaona patakaseva ma department ema government officials ese saka nguva vaitoro kuma journalist ndiona mwachisa pa Facebook asi muzuva ranhasi ndorati kuita official launch kuti constitution ye Zimbabwe Kingdom police ye Zimbabwe Kingdom up to the Mutapa Empire ndaironja nhasi date richiti 17 July zva official yapamutemo sekutaura kwandakaita ndakaregister kuUnited Nations. Saka vanhu vose nepandakataura kuti taregister kuti ya Zimbabwe Kingdom ndofunga makapaona kana mamuchita follow up. Saka ini ndinodhiriva zvandinotaura uye ndinoziva kuti vanhu vakawanda vamwe vanga vaine marivazation avo vanga vainavo asi zvapera nekuti Zimbabwe is no longer a republic until the second Jesus is coming forever and ever. So ndakuita hand over constitution kuti muchiverengerwa na commissioner we-Midlands anonzi commissioner Maregezi we-Midlands ndina commissioner we-Harare apindawo manje ndinoda kugamushirai commissioner Muchena Gumbo ndina commissioner weMasvingo ndatoda kutaura zita rake ndichazotaura hangu asi tinawo vakati kuti vari pano. Saka ndiri kuti ini Nzakimwe neMutapa ndiri kufara neconstitution yandiri kuronja muzuva ranhasi nguva dzekuma 11 ndichitaura kuti ndo official constitution yauraya republic forever. Ndichazotaura zvangu mashure manzwa muconstitution yaverengwa ichaverengwa yose nevanhu vose vakasaina vachaverengwa. Takasainisa mapandiko ose ikakomishinwa na komishina. Saka chunhu kana chakomishino chobva chasainwa then pane clause yatakanyora kuti kunyangwe ikangosainwa nemaofficial kana any organization dzemuZimbabwe it became a law from today until upwards. We are now under Zimbabwe Kingdom official. Ndinotenda ndakutambidza kuti muchiverengera vanhu ndatenda.
Thank you very much, His Majesty King Mwene Mutapa. Today, the 17th of July 2025, is an official day for the launch of the Constitution. Zimbabweans listen very attentively as I read this Constitution. Right. 8 July 2025, to whom it may concern. Attached herewith, please find Zimbabwe Kingdom law. Please kindly acknowledge receipt of this official document of Zimbabwe Kingdom law. Regards His Majesty King Mwene Mutapa, Zimbabwe Kingdom, and it's signed. overseer of the Zimbabwe kingdom and head of the kingdom up to the Mutapa Great Empire. This great kingdom, there is a prime minister who presides under King Mutapa. 2, he will be with one deputy prime minister. The prime minister will be reporting to the king according to their hierarchy. There is a pyramid there showing their way of reporting. There is deputy prime minister, and king on top. Right? Duties of the prime minister. A, he will be administering day-to-day governance of Zimbabwe kingdom. B, reporting to His Majesty King on daily basis. C, whenever activity to be carried out in the kingdom, in brackets country, the Prime Minister must report to His Majesty King before any action and all protocol observed. D, the Prime Minister must take action or orders from the King on daily basis and all cabinet ministers. Corruption. All corrupt activities must be dealt accordingly without fear or favor from the Prime Minister to the general citizens. Right? Zimbabwe kingdom provinces. Here the king has announced 11 provinces in this great kingdom. There is Masingo, Midlands, Matabeleland South, Matabeleland North, Bulawayo, Harare, Mashonaland East, Mashonaland Central, Mashonaland West, Manicaland, and finally Midlands Sub-Province. Duties of the commissioners for His Majesty King Mutapa. All commissioners report to His Majesty King Mutapa directly. B, they work hand in hand with the chiefs according to provinces as represented. C, whenever chiefs are installed or dethroned by the king's commissioners, commissioners have to make a verified research and make a tangible family outcome to His Majesty King Mutapa. Right, we go to ministries. Ministries of Home Affairs. 1, Zimbabwe Kingdom Police. Zimbabwe Kingdom Police maintain peace, law, and order, and security enforcement. 2, Commissioner General of Zimbabwe Kingdom Police reports directly to His Majesty King Mutapa. Minister of Home Affairs must also report to His Majesty King Mutapa directly. Registrar General to report direct to the Majesty King Mutapa. Commissioner of Museum and National Monuments to report direct to the Majesty King Mutapa. Commissioner of Gender and Culture to report direct to the Majesty King Mutapa and all their permanent secretaries. That is all ministries, all permanent secretaries report to His Majesty King Mutapa. Minister of Defense, Minister to report directly to His Majesty King. Generals to report directly to His Majesty King Mutapa and their permanent secretaries. Minister of Justice, Minister of Justice to report directly to His Majesty King Mutapa. Minister of Justice to report directly to His Majesty King Mutapa. Directors of Police Director of Policies reports directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Attorney General reports direct to His Majesty King Monomchapa and his permanent secretary. Chief Justice and Judge President reports directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Minister of Health. Minister and permanent secretary to report directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. 8. Minister of Agriculture. Minister and permanent secretary to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Right? Title deeds will be signed by His Majesty King Monomchapa. Commissioner of Lands must report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Surveyor General must report also to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Commissioner of Agriculture reports also to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Commissioner of Deeds reports directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. NB, His Majesty King Monomchapa is the owner of the land, not the Prime Minister or any other. We got Minister of Mines. Minister and Permanent Secretary to report directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Commissioner of Mines to report directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Investors and tourism. All investors must report to the King's office and a team from His Majesty King Monomchapa to investigate all investors before licenses is granted. Number 7, Minister of Education, Sports and Culture. The Minister and Permanent Secretary to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Right? Vice Chancellors, that is for universities. All universities to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. All principals reports direct to permanent secretaries. Labor and skills development. Minister and permanent secretary reports directly to His Majesty King Monomchapa. All people within Zimbabwe Kingdom must work hard for the nation's growth. Minister of Local Government and Public Works. That is the Minister of Local Government and Public Works. Minister and the Permanent Secretary to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Director of Traditions to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Director of Urban Council to report to His Majesty King Monomchapa. Right? All chiefs are accredited by His Majesty King Monomchapa through provincial commissioners of His Majesty King Monomchapa. As you are aware, we have said there are 11 commissioners. So, as per each province representative, all chiefs will go through King Monomchapa's commissioners. His Majesty King has powers to stop corrupt chiefs from exercising duties. His Majesty King has powers to dismiss non-performing ministers and permanent secretaries. That starts from the Prime Minister and their levels. His Majesty King has powers to dismiss Prime Minister and Vice Prime Minister if found corrupt. It is the Majesty King's right to send or not to send army to war. 10. Elections. His Majesty King has powers to declare or not to declare elections in the country. It is only councillors and members of parliament who will go for elections. Prime Minister, Vice Prime Minister, and ministers are appointed by His Majesty King Monomchapa based on qualifications to their duties and relevant ministries and loyalty. Parliament has no power over His Majesty King. His Majesty King is the last signature to every law passed in parliamentary debates. His Majesty King appoints commission that supervises or monitors rural and urban council operations. 11. Political parties. His Majesty has said no more political parties in the country, no more tribalism. We are one people and one nation. Prime Minister is appointed after 2 years promotion based on loyalty, qualifications, and performance. Same applies to his Vice Prime Minister. All commissioners of His Majesty King are entitled to have facilities equivalent to the highest directors of big companies such as houses, security, and vehicles. His Majesty King must have provincial offices in each province. 12. Minister of Finance. Minister and Permanent Secretary reports to His Majesty. Reserve Bank Governor to report to His Majesty King. His Majesty King to perform purification at Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe for sustainability of the economy at different intervals. That's cleansing. Zimbabwe Kingdom money will be called one money mutapa, being His Majesty King's picture or head with gold costs. Money will be equivalent to the gold. It will be not just a paper. 13. His Majesty King's benefits. He has to have houses protected by army and police. His palace will be comprising of, it should be one close to the banks, shopping complex with maximum security. Murabinda Palace to have town built close to it. That's His Majesty's original home. 2. His Majesty is to be provided with motorcade, escorted by police and army. 3. King Mutapa has powers to send anyone corrupt straight to jail. That means if you were to say by word of mouth, this man should go to jail, definitely you have to go to jail. 4. No one has powers to denounce the king and undermine the office of His Majesty. Lastly, His Majesty King's declaration. Listen very carefully here. 1. This Zimbabwe Kingdom law is a stamped or signed by anyone representing any organization or government department or any office within the country. It is an official affirmation that it is now a law legally. This is part of the first phase of His Majesty King Zimbabwe Kingdom law. I thank you, Zimbabwe. Back to His Majesty.
Okay, ndinotenda tichida kuti muverenge vanhu vacho vakasaina zvaitikasaina.
Okay, right. here I'm reading official government departments which have signed as affirmation to this Zimbabwe Kingdom law. They've agreed to it. Number one, United Nations, they signed on the 10th July 2025, and the Minister of Home Affairs, Culture, Heritage Minister, he stamped this again on the 10th July 2025.
Ndizvo zviri kuitika munyika yedu yeZimbabwe. Munyika yedu muri kuitika zvinhu zvakawanda zvakasiyana siyana. Saka ndiri kuti semhuri yeZimbabwe ngatibatanei, ngatisei musoro pamwe chete tichinamatira nyika yedu kuti zvinhu zvifambe zvakanaka nekuti zvinhu hazvina kumira zvakanaka. Isu sekuru Jones tinopinda munyika tichinotora nyaya semaitikira dzinenge dzaita touya nadzo kwamuri. Kana wanga usati wasubscribe ndiwo mukana wekuti usubscribe wotena on the notification bell kuitira kuti patinouya nenyaya ndiwe uchatanga kuiona. Usasaririre, garai muri pano pachannel yevanhu. Ino ichannel yenyu. Isu tinouya nenyaya semaitikiro adzinenge dzaita. Hatiwedzere kana kutapudza. Tinokutendai muri yeZimbabwe nesupport yamuri kutipa. Thank you so much.